Hello, welcome back to Brian's Mostly Metal Updates. This is collection update number 6, but this one's a little bit different. I was recently on eBay and I ran across HPGD Productions, Horror, Pain, Gore, Death Productions. They're selling a lot of 30 CDs for $30. The catch is they're random CDs from the catalog. Don't know what you're going to get. Now, I guess they've been doing this a while because there's other videos that I ran across doing this same thing I'm about to do. But I bought them, 30 bucks. It's a deal. 30 bucks. All you need to find is 4 or 5 good ones, and it's a bargain, right? So, bought it. They arrived. A little bit nervous. Looking through them, there was only like 4 or 5 bands I even have heard of. Never listened to any of the albums. Heard of 4 or 5 of the bands is all. So I was nervous, but I started listening. Turns out HPGD Productions has a lot of good music. So out of the 30 CDs, I'm keeping 22 of them for my collection. 8 of them, no interest. They're out of here. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Maybe I'll put them aside, do a giveaway or something someday. Just because I don't like them, somebody out there may love them, So I should probably just jump in because I got 30 CDs to get through. I put a few of the better ones in front. All the bad ones are at the end. Everything else is just more or less random, the order I listen to them, basically, So for starters, Ghoul House, Rigor Mortis Intermezzo. This is Swedish death metal featuring, I don't know how to say it, Roga Johansson. He's one of these guys that's in like a ton of bands, like 50 bands or something. The only one I was familiar with was Revolting. So if you like Revolting, they're really good. This is good stuff. Horror-themed Swedish death metal. We have, Zombie 4 on the cover. You got a Lucio Fulci movie on the back. Under the CD, you got the nesting. So horror-themed. And it's, HM2, Swedish buzzsaw guitars. So this is good stuff. This, I got it for $1. This is worth full price right here. This is good stuff. Probably my favorite of the whole thing. So yeah, Ghoul House. This is Mortify, Grotesque Buzzsaw Defilement. So if you look at the cover, you have a zombie with a buzzsaw stuck in his head, and he's holding an HM2 pedal. And on the inside, you have HM2 pedals. So, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get buzzsaw guitar, but this is death grind. So, you get 13 songs in 9.5 minutes. So, if you like your buzzsaw guitar, short and grindy, this is recommended. This is really good stuff. The case is all busted, but it was $1, so no harm there. Next up, and I have a lot of notes because it's been 2 weeks since I listened to these, so it's a lot of stuff to remember. Next up is Minax, Vengeance Rising. Which I believe Vengeance Rising, weren't they like a Christian thrash band back in the day? Anyway, Minax. This is a 5-piece thrash band from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. They are split up. They were together for 4 years and they only released this EP. Now, I'll tell you why I like it. They have a female vocalist that reminds me a lot of Stacey Savage from Savage Master. So, if you like Stacey Savage, this is what she'd sound like if she was singing thrash, I think. So, this is really good. You know, and just buy one CD and you own their whole discography, you know. Next up is All Hell, the Red Sect. Now the thing I noticed on this, it is mixed and mastered by Joel Grind. So Joel Grind, I'm a big fan, both as a musician and, you know, all the work he does in the studio. He's mixed and or mastered some great albums. So this is a 3-piece from North Carolina. This is their second full length. Black / thrash / punk is what they're listed at as on the Metal Archives. In the vein of Midnight. Now they don't really sound like Midnight, but they're kind of that vein, if you know what I'm saying. I'll take Midnight over this, obviously, but it's in that vein and it's really good. You know, they've released 4 albums total, and they're worth checking out. You know, for me, they're worth checking out further. You know, I like this enough that I'd like to hear more. So, next up, Necronemesis. Some Things Should Stay Underground. This is a 4-piece from Puerto Rico. This is their first full-length album. Kind of reminds me a little bit, once in a while, of Skeletal Remains. Not all the time, and just a little bit, but you know, I try really hard, like, who does that sound like, you know, because a lot of people are really good at that. So, Skeletal Remains a little bit. I wrote down, I don't know if this is great, but it's really good. So, that was my initial reaction after listening to it for the first time. I don't know if it's great, but it's really good. And it was only $1. I feel like, I don't know, because I only paid $1, I'm going a little bit easy on them. Like if I'd have paid $10 a piece for these, not all of them maybe I'd be happy about. But when you get them for $1, I don't know, maybe that's the wrong way to look at it, but I don't know, I enjoyed a lot of these, I think. Next up is Unnatural, The Path to Ruin. Now, I'll tell you what I noticed when I was looking at this is, look at that guy right there. That's Uncle Ken from Ken's Death Metal Crypt. He does vocals. I didn't know he had a band. Does vocals for Unnatural. And I'm happy to report he's really good. I mean, this is a 2-piece death metal project from Joliet. This is their debut EP. Pretty straightforward death metal. Ken's vocals are on point with that low death metal growl. So that's what you get with Unnatural. It's really good stuff. Next up, Vault Dweller, Existence at a Distance. I've not been saying the dates on these. This is from 2019. 4-piece female-fronted death grind band from Dallas. They are split up. They released 2 EPs, and this is their second. So yeah, lyrics. And yeah, this was really good. I enjoyed this a lot. Next up, Imperial Savagery, Lashing the Feral Swine. This is a 4-piece death metal band from Chicago. This is their second full length. I hear Immolation a little bit in this. So yeah, if you like Immolation, and most people do, right? Yeah, this was good. Imperial Savagery. Next up, The Day of the Beast, The Ultimate Cremation Pyre. Yeah, some really cool artwork on that. Not crazy about their logo, you know, but, you know, they're cool. Really cool. Musically, they're great. You know, I mean, this is like a 4 out of 5, I would say, album. From 2017, 5-piece blackened thrash from Virginia Beach. This is their 3rd full-length album. All I really wrote down was really good stuff. Definitely a keeper. So, The Day of the Beast. Next up, You have Sekusu, Satyromania from 2019. They are listed as thrash slash hardcore punk. 3-piece out of Detroit. They're split up, and this is their only full-length album. It definitely has a punk vibe to it. So, you know. Next up is Sigil, Kingdom of the Grave from 2017. It's death metal, 4-piece band out of Austin, Texas. This is their only full-length album. Hear a little bit of Carcass, like earlier Carcass, a little, well, not really early Carcass, more like mid Carcass, early to mid Carcass, I don't know. A little bit of Carcass, once in a while. So, next up, Covered in Sores, Civilian Casualties from 2021. Let's call this Death Grind. 4-piece out of Philadelphia. This is a compilation of their demos. This is good stuff, but for demos, it sounds great. Next up is Viogression. This is Perception Blur, the early demos 1988 to 1990. This came out in 2020. Really good. Death metal from Milwaukee. You know, it's demos, like I said, but these also sound really good. Now, I checked Viogression out one time, just a song. Didn't care for them, you know. Really liked this a lot. Was supposed to have seen Viogression live. When I saw Blood in Chicago, Blood, Nunslaughter, Squash Bowels. Great show. Viogression played first. I was taking the train from like Naperville into the city, missed the train. By the time I got there, Viogression was done. So I didn't get to see him live. But I will check them out again. Like I said, I just listened to one song, didn't like it, passed on them. Like this a lot. So I'm going to check out Viogression some more. So yeah, that was a band I'd heard of. I'm pretty sure I've heard of Covered in Sores before, just never listened to them. Heard of Viogression. This next one, Abigail. I've heard of Abigail. Always loved their logo. Great logo, right? And it's a split with Vulcan Tyrant. Love Abigail. Never checked them out. You know, run across them because they're one of those very prolific bands that release tons of split 7-inches. You know, like 100 of them or something. So yeah, they get around. They're 3-piece from Japan. Vulcan Tyrant is a 2-piece from the Netherlands. Yeah, so Abigail, you probably know it. I'm late to the party on Abigail, I think. But this was really good. Vulcan Tyrant, what did I write about them? I loved both of Abigail's. This is just 4 songs, 2 songs by each band. The first Vulcan Tyrant song was kind of so-so. The second song I loved, left me wanting to hear more of Vulcan Tyrant. And definitely, this made me want to listen to more Abigail. So, I'm actually shopping for some Abigail stuff right now. You know, I don't want to go too crazy. You know, just discovered them. But yeah, this, I mean, it's only 4 songs. I don't know what the regular price is on this, but this is definitely worth picking up, in my opinion. Formless Master, First Strike. This is martial arts themed grindcore. This is from their debut EP. Something I noticed, it lists, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the band, and 3 of them are vocalists. So I don't know what's going on there. You know, even the picture. You know, you got 2 vocalists, a drummer, and then a guitar/bass player. So, It's grindcore. You never know, right? But yeah, this obviously not for everybody because it's grindcore. 7 songs, clocking in at just under 9.5 minutes. So, Formless Master, it's a keeper. Next up, we got a split CD again. This is Fiends at Feast and Tragic Death. The Purgatory Rites split. Fiends at Feast is a 5-piece blackened death metal band from California. They have split up. This is their final release. It's good stuff, kind of Belphegor type blackened death metal, I think. Tragic Death, 3-piece melodic black metal from Wisconsin. Now, I don't really listen to melodic black metal, so I can't really compare them to anybody. I didn't hate it. I'd like it more if it was less melodic, maybe, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it's yeah, I'll listen to it again. I just need to kind of expand my horizons a little bit, listen to more melodic stuff. Just don't generally, don't like melodic. There's exceptions, obviously, but I just don't listen to much that has melodic in front of it, I think. Next up, we have another split. This is Spun in Darkness and Graveworm, Vengeance from Beyond the Grave from 2012. So Spun in Darkness is a 4-piece death metal band from Las Vegas. They have split up. This is their final release. Has a really, really bad song on it. Carnival Freak Show. Carnival Freak Show was horrible. I just hated that song. I hate it. Most albums I listen to, I pop on the album and I listen to it. I hate it when there's just terrible, terrible songs that you want to skip. That just, I don't know, I hate that. But yeah, Spun in Darkness had one of them kind of songs. Graveworm, blackened death metal. And this is what I wrote down for my notes for Graveworm. Quite extensive discography. Never heard them before. So I don't even remember. Like I said, I listened to all 30 of these, all the way through, except for 1 or 2. A couple of the bad ones I didn't make it through. Only one keeper I didn't listen to. I haven't got to that one yet, all the way through. So yeah, I don't really remember what Graveworm sounded like. I did put this in the keeper pile. So I'm guessing it's because all I remember is how much I hated that one song by Spun in Darkness. So, but I did put it in the keeper pile. So, next up, another split. This is Solanum and Epidemic. Passages to Lunacy split. So Solanum is a 5-piece crossover thrash band from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Epidemic is a 3-piece crossover thrash band from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Okay? It's not bad. Here's what I wrote down. If I listen to this, if I stream this, would I want to go out and buy the CD? The answer is no. But I already own it. It's like it was only $1. I already own it. Is it great? It's not great. But it's not terrible. And I already own it. So, oh shit. So I'm keeping it. Next up. This is Matsunaga Was Right. Kings of the Deathmatch from 2021. This is wrestling-themed grindcore. Now, they're not listed on the Metal Archive, so I don't know where they're from, so we'll just say parts unknown. I don't know. This went back. This actually, the first run through, I listened to all 30 of these and put them in a keep pile and a discard pile. This started out in the discard pile. Went through and listened to everything a second time. That time, I moved this from the discard pile to the keep pile. Kind of the same logic. If I listen to this, I wouldn't buy it, you know. But I already own it. I don't know. Is that silly? I don't know. It's clever. It's all wrestling. So you have, you know, worked yourself into a shoot is one of the songs. You know, doing face drugs with New Jack atop the 2300 arena. You know, it's scissors deathmatch. I mean, that would be brutal. You know, it ended up in the keeper pile. Next up, this is the one that I didn't listen to all the way through. This is Brody's Militia, which I think the cover is like that old image of the guy throwing a bottle in a trash can, but it's all just mixed up. I think that's all I can figure out. It's a silly cover. This is hardcore punk from Kentucky, and there's 60 songs on this. So I didn't make it through all 60 songs. Honestly, I'm not in the mood to listen to punk right now. Okay, I'm just listening to metal. You know, I generally I don't mix my genres. I don't know why. If I'm listening to metal, I listen to metal. If I go through a punk phase, I stop listening to metal and I start listening to punk. Just the way my brain works. Not really in the mood for punk. However, this is the kind of stuff when I was listening to punk, I know I would have loved. So I'm keeping it. Someday I'll be in the mood for it. Well, this is the last of the keepers. This is, I think you pronounce it, Horror Vacui. I don't know. Anyway, this I saved for last because this is not technically metal. This is death rock from Italy. 5-piece band. This one is particularly good. They're both good. If you like death rock, check this one out for sure. It's just really good stuff. When I was going on about Devil Master and saying they sounded like death rock, this is what I was talking about right here. This is really good stuff. This one's good too. You know, you can tell by the cover. Yeah, I mean, this just has the cool logo. You know, with, you know, there's like a candle for the I, and then the H is like a cross and an inverted cross, and you got, you know, all the skeletons. You know, it's just cool. This, you know, you got a couple birds fighting or whatever. I don't know. It's just, this is good. Did I say the titles? In darkness, you will feel all right. Did I write down? This is from 2012. And this is Return of the Empire from 2014. So yeah, those are both really good. Now these are the ones that I'm not going to keep. I don't want these in my collection. Honestly, I'll never want to listen to these again. Okay, so apologies, you know, if these are your favorite bands here. But first up, Collapsia, Angel Plague from 2017. They're death metal, 4-piece from New Jersey. This is their third full-length album. This is what I wrote down in my notes. Didn't hate it, just doesn't connect with me. I'll never listen to this again. Kind of generic, just doesn't stand out. That was my impression. Okay. Next up is another split. This is Bastard Hammer and Violation Wound. Split from 2017. Now, Bastard Hammer is a 4-piece from the UK. They're listed as death/crust. They're kind of humorous, I think. You know, the song, Living Large, Dying Fat, Wanker Fight. I don't know. punch in the face. Just didn't impress me. I'm not into their whole thing there. A Violation Wound is a Chris Reifert side project. All right? Everybody loves Autopsy, right? Love Chris Reifert in Autopsy. Okay? This side project, it's punk. I wrote down, not terrible. I'm never going to listen to this again. That was my impression. I listened to it. You know, yeah, Chris, that's enough. I'm done. I don't know. It just didn't click with me, you know. Next up, Vesication Total Fecal. So, you know, you got the Total Recall parody. You know, I've already mentioned I don't like parodies. Vesication, 4-piece from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This is brutal death metal / grindcore. Now, I love death metal. I don't like brutal death metal, generally. You know, there's just certain characteristics of brutal death metal that I don't like. So I usually don't listen to it. Now, I give this a listen. I listen to the whole thing. Musically, it's not terrible, but brutal death metal vocals, they got kind of those crickety vocals, right? Not a fan. Now, I've heard worse, all right? This wasn't like the worst brutal death metal I've ever heard. You know, the inside is all pictures of toilets. You know, they definitely got some, you know, I think what finally said no, that's it. Inside you have little cartoon turds, you know, getting stepped on in the shower or whatever. I don't know. I'm just not into feces, man. I don't know. So yeah, Vesication, sorry. That's just not for me. Next up. This is one that I could not get through. I'm just going to tell you. In my room where I listen to music, I have, you know, a stereo, you know, system that I put together. I bought a turntable. I borrowed a receiver from my brother-in-law. You know, I bought a tape deck off of eBay. And then instead of buying a CD player, I have an old Blu-ray player I had in the closet, like an extra one. So I got the Blu-ray player hooked up. Now here's the thing. You play a CD, it plays a CD. I got it hooked up through my receiver. Plays the CD just fine, but there's no controls on front of the DVD player. You got to use the remote. And the remote was misplaced. Didn't have the remote. So basically you can't skip. You can eject, you can play, you can stop, you can pause. You can't skip. You need the remote to skip, right? Because I'm too cheap to buy a CD player when a Blu-ray player works just fine. You know, I'm 52. A Blu-ray player works as good as a CD player. I don't need to buy a special CD player. You know, I use the old Blu-ray player. Anyway, I put this CD on. Did I say what it was? I don't think I said what it was. I got all worked up already. This is Winter Eve, October Dark from 2020. This is Melodic Doom from France. This is their second full-length album. Now again with the word melodic, right? I put this CD on, and the first song was horrible. Just horrible. And like I just explained, I couldn't skip to the next song to see how horrible the next song was. I could not make it through one song. That's how bad this was. When I went through my second run through, I popped this in again. Same thing happened again. I turned it off you know, before the first song was finished. So my apologies to Winter Eve from France. I could not get through this. I will not try again. This goes in the discard pile. Now, like I said, one of these days I'll do a giveaway or something and maybe give these things away. Just because I don't like melodic doom, you know, you might. So maybe you can win something someday. Now, last up, let me go through, I'm down to the last page. First of all, we have Eat My Fuck. The album is Fuck You, It's Eat My Fuck. Now, you know, little cheap cardboard sleeve on a little 3-inch CD. First time I've actually had, you know, like all CDs players have that little smaller, you know, slot for these, but I never actually owned one, I don't think. So yeah, this hardcore punk started as a side project of Chris Reifert. Now, he's not on this, but he used to be in this band. And I'm like 0 for 2 with Chris Reifert side projects right now, you know. It's like G.G. Allen type stuff, you know. Not terrible, but yeah, I don't think so. You know, it's just, you know, G.G. Allen type stuff. If you're into G.G. Allen, you may like Eat My Fuck. I've listened to G.G. Allen. The older I get, the less impressed I am with G.G. Allen. Let me just put it that way. Hammer Fight. Self-titled album from 2012. 4-piece thrash from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Kinda hardcore vocals. I just didn't dig it. That was what I wrote. I just didn't dig it. You know. Another split. Septori and Sadistic Forest from 2013. Septori is death metal from Russia. They have split up. This is their final release. Sadistic Forest, death metal from Finland. Now my note is neither band is terrible, but I really hate these cardboard things. I mean, these little cheap cardboard things, I just don't like them. And it just, you know, wasn't terrible. Last up, Anatomia and Absconder, Audible Assault Split from 2012. Seems like I've run across them before, never checked them out. They are Death Doom from Japan. And Absconder is death metal from Champaign, Illinois. Now, I was kind of excited. There's a cover of Turbo Lover on this. Terrible cover of Turbo Lover. Not even recognizable. Just like this Death Doom cover of Turbo Lover. And yeah, that's bad. So that's it. That's all 30 CDs. Now, I don't know, like I said, 22 I'm keeping. All 22 that I'm keeping, I think that they're worth checking out again. I mean, I don't want to, when I collected movies, there's times that I would watch a movie and I didn't really like it. But my instinct was you put it on the shelf. You need that because you're collecting that label or you're collecting that director or whatever. You collect that actor. I mean, you know, I'm not going to do that with music. I mean, I don't collect any labels. I collect albums that I like. I'm not going to buy every Slayer album, you know. I love Slayer, but I'm not going to buy every Slayer album. I'm not going to buy every Bathory album. I don't need all of them, right? There's just some you don't have to have. I know some people aren't like that, and that's fine. I get it. I was the same way with movies. But just to sum up, that's the ones I'm getting rid of. Not going to get rid of. I'm going to just start a box. Put a box in the closet and just let these... I'm sure I wouldn't mind trying this again. You know, I mean, if you buy another one of these, you'll probably get some duplicates. There's a chance of that, you know. That wouldn't be cool. But no, this was kind of fun, you know, checking out, you know, new music. So, update, I guess. Next video will be, I'd like to do a Halloween video. One last thing. Very soon, is it the 3rd? Maybe the 3rd of November? I will be in Gary, Indiana at Merciful Fate, Creator, and Midnight. So, you know, if you're going to that show in Gary, I think it's at the Hard Rock Casino, and you see me, you know, say hey. That'd be cool. I'm going to try to get up front. You know, never been there before. Never been to Gary, period. Going to try to get up front for midnight, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to shoot some footage. You know, traditionally, I'm bad at shooting concert footage. I want to enjoy the show. You know, not stand there with my camera the whole time. But, I don't know. I kind of like watching stuff. Let you relive it more, you know, watching video of it than just going by memory. So I guess that's one reason to do it, you know. So yeah, that's the plan. You know, next video, Misfits update. It'll be all vinyl. Thinking about doing an all tape update after that. I got some records coming in the mail. So I got some more stuff for a vinyl update coming. Working on a couple things, couple ideas, something new that I've never done before. Was thinking about that today. So, I don't know, I'm starting to ramble, you know. I'm going to edit this way down because I'm at 45 minutes almost. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll see how this went. You know, cut this down. I don't want it to be super long. So, that's it for now. Like I said, I'm going to try to pump out another video really quick. Normally I do videos once a week, and I'm going to stick to that. But because Halloween's kind of snuck up on me, I'd like to do something really quick for that. Then, you know, we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, commenting, liking, you know, all that stuff. I'm really slow answering comments. You know, keep that in mind. If you leave a comment, I will answer you. I promise. It may take a month. Not really. It'll take a while. So, thank you for watching. Until next time.